Take two on this video. In Colombia, this is the country that, well, everybody's pretty super quiet here today. A lot of people on their phones listening to music and whatever. And it's 6:10 a.m. in the morning. And Monday through Saturday, people go to work, office or factory jobs, even professionals, like I say, office workers, and begin work at 7 a.m. and they have a 48-hour work week here in Colombia. And that waking up so early killed my sleeping habit. When I came back in 95 here, I started working in 96 when I moved to Colombia from the United States, came to live in this country. And I remember working for my first English language institute called the Meyer Institute, and I remember I had been working there for like 3 months. I started in late January 96, and I remember around April, my boss, a woman, no, it was the second guy in command, Victor, I think it was him, yeah, Victor. He was from Bogota or something, and the guy tells me, Edwin, you're gonna start working next week on Monday or on Tuesday at 6 a.m. teaching class at the government building in downtown Medellin. And my face was like, I'm laughing like, yeah, Victor, you got me. I fell for that for a second, but that's a joke. And he looks at me with this serious face. Like, his face was usually super serious. The guy, to see him smiling was not a common occurrence. And he goes, no, you're going to begin working at 6 a.m. twice a week next week at Gobernación de Antioquia. Like, what? And I said, no, you're pulling my leg, right? He goes, no, you are going to begin working at 6 a.m. next week. And he was dead serious, and I was just blown away by that in a negative sense. Like, what, are you kidding me? And I said to myself in my mind, these guys are nuts. I've never heard of that. People beginning classes at a university or at a company at 6 a.m. and they had classes at 12 noon or at 5 p.m. Out of office hours. So that killed my sleep, because I lived in Envigado. I was living in Envigado, and I remember I had to wake up at 4:15 in the morning, because it was really hard for me to wake up so early. I mean, the earliest I woke up in the U.S. usually was, let's say, 6:30 in the morning when I had classes at 7 a.m. in high school in New York City. But I remember that 9th and 10th grade was 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. But then 11th and 12th grade in New York, and I don't know what other parts of the country, classes were from 7:30 in the morning, or 8 in the morning. I think it was 8 in the morning. 8 in the morning to something. 8 in the morning to 2 p.m. or something. I don't remember what it was. Or to 2:30 p.m. Yeah, and it was just killed my sleeping habit. I was like, oh my God. And I was just like a zombie. Really felt like a zombie. And all these years later, I've been trying to do that. I used to get like 10 hours of sleep and everything. And this is like 6:20 in the morning. And it's usually fuller, like crowded, crazy crowded. Like, you can't even move Monday through Friday. But on Saturdays, it's a little more laid back in terms of the amount of people. But still, people have a 48-hour work week here in this country, and they got to punch in 48 hours in terms of the factory workers or shop workers. And professionals just work Monday through Friday, and they work from 7 to 5, 7 a.m. to 5 or 5:30. And sometimes they stay in a little later at the office because the boss is here. Sometimes see if the worker ain't put in a little extra. They have that mentality: if you're not staying a little extra, then you suck. You're not a hard worker, and then you fear of losing your job. In terms of professionals, people who have degrees in the sciences or the whatever, law, civil engineering, accounting, etc., etc. So it sucks, and I haven't been able to get my sleep routine back all these years, trying to sleep from trying to get 9 or 10 hours of sleep that I used to until I was 23 years old or 24. It all changed. And productivity here is not that good. I mean, the efficiency. I heard that this is one of the worst countries in the world, or the worst, where people get up the earliest to go to work, earliest, and start early. But efficiency or productivity, or both, are really, because who in general wants to be waking up at 4 in the morning or 4:30 to be at, or at 5 a.m. to be at work at 7? We begin office hours in the United States 9 a.m. and we finish at 5 p.m. Or we have 8-hour shifts. But here they have like 10-hour shifts or something. It's just maddening. It's one of the few things I don't like about Colombia, in addition to a couple of other points. But in general, I love it here. And that's why I've been living here for a total of 26 years. But Colombia killed my sleeping routine. And that's it. Catch you on the rebound. And I hope you appreciate wherever it is you live in the world, that you don't have to be up that early unless you have the graveyard shift or some kind of special job that requires crazy hours.